John Osborne here. Let's do the FX Educational Outlook for June 15th, 2017. It's Thursday, early evening, and yesterday was the FOMC meeting announcement, so with that behind us, we can start to focus on regular moves back in the market. Let's start out by looking at the Euro Pound. You can see how we've come down since that announcement and pretty much touched this line that was from back here. We're still trying to break above the weekly previous pivot of 0.87864, but you can see we pulled back quite a bit after failing to break through that. So we're really moving away from being bullish in this pair and possibly looking into changing our stance. We're going to hold off just for a little bit more, but watch that 120 line. Here on the Australian dollar, US dollar, we've got a little bit of a pivot here that we want to keep an eye on as a potential resumption in the upward trend. And if we could, we'd be breaking above around 0.76255 or so, but we're getting a little bit of weakness, and we had these long wicks coming up here indicating that even though the bulls pushed to get that higher, the bears fought it back pretty strongly. But we still have some really good bullishness in our daily MACD and as well as in our weekly MACD momentum. So let's watch what happens and see if we can break higher, but it's got to prove to us that it wants to go higher. So I'm going to move this one into the pending bullish area again. And then the US dollar Swissy, that one has broken above the previous swing high. And at first it broke it, came back and retested a little bit, and then ran right up through there today at 0.97267. We'll be watching for that to reach up to this point, which we've already crossed. So we can go up and look at the next one up. Let's get the number for that. That'd be 0.98070. Okay, so we're still bullish on that, and we are moving. And by the way, that one was the one we were considering being no longer pending bearish because we were looking for the break on the bottom of this support trend line here, and instead it's reversed and gone back up. With the Aussie dollar, US dollar, we just looked at that, and the Kiwi yen is breaking above this previous swing here. This pivot here needs to be set to be a little bit higher. So let's go ahead and do that. Get that new measurement in there. That'd be at about 0.79998, and we've got to break above that. So far we haven't done it. You can see we're trying to make a move higher here, but we are breaking nice and strong over the previous 79.355 pivot, so watch for that one to go higher. I'm going to move that one into the bullish mode, and same with the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. It's also breaking up nicely. So this is probably weakness in the yen that's causing this to happen. We are breaking above the weekly pivot, so watch for that one to go higher. And the Euro Loonie has really broken lower over the past week, and I'm watching this break right here of this previous pivot of 1.48244. So I'm going to switch this one to pending bearish. Okay, I'm going to watch that one to break. Another pending bearish is the Euro US dollar, and that one we were watching in this consolidation channel following a bearish divergence that we had. Two pivots high, and the second one was higher, but our signal line was lower on MACD, and now we're seeing one last retest and then a drop back down. So we have some pretty good bearishness across the board except for the weekly, and that probably just needs to follow. So let's watch for a potential entry. We can look under 1.11088 for a potential point to look for a break further and lower. So we'll keep that in our pending bearish. In the US dollar Loonie, you can see that one's breaking lower. We broke through this trend line and this previous pivot of 1.32230. We've pulled back a little bit, but we look bearish on the daily and the weekly. We just have to wait for a little bit of a setup here. We might be able to get a consolidation uptrend that happens here that will give us an entry. So let's watch for that for a potential re-entry on being bearish. And then this US dollar Japanese yen is still struggling along the weekly line here, but the strength that we see on this daily chart shows that it wants to break higher. So we may be moving this one into pending bullish as well. So I'm going to move that over into pending bullish. So a lot is moving around today. It's been interesting. And I think with the pound yen similarly, although the pound yen has run up to this line here on the 240 and the 120, so let's see if it can break through there as a potential re-entry. And finally the pound CAD, Let's move out of the way there. The pound CAD has a potential, and for this one we want to look for possible re-entry using this consolidation uptrend. So watch for a potential entry to go lower if we can get below around 1.68320. And that'll do it for today. Remember, you can click on my picture to subscribe to these videos, and you can watch the previous video by clicking on the image in the upper left. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.